Good morning. All right. I thought we were going to get a little bit of a blast off yesterday. Didn't happen. I was a little struggling here for the S&P to punch through that all-time high. Looking at the S&Ps here to get through. I can draw a little dyslexic in my hand here this morning. Anyway, we covered that wide range bar yesterday, and the stall. There was that stall, and here's today. Kind of a whipsaw going on there. I didn't have the TV on to see with any news, but kind of looks like some news report and buy the dip and rip it right back up again and form this little bottoming tail bar. If this was the end of the day, that would be I'll use the word pretty much a no-brainer long, that with a bar that would have taken out that low and came back like that to take out those highs. It's just a pattern that would have been, if it didn't follow through, and again, this isn't complete yet, but if something like this didn't follow through, it would be a big surprise. So anyway, clearly buyers continue to step up on the dip without this bar being done. This is the kind of pattern that we would look for after a wide range bar, where the candle bodies would stay on the top and any dips down below to the halfway marker below would result in a bottoming tail bar. And you can see on the hourly chart, well, why did it form the tail there? As always, look to the left. Two prior pivots, bids are down there. And obviously, there is a large herd, right, institutions that believe this market is going to go higher, and they're sitting down there at these pivots. So while those of you that maybe are starting out or have been doing this for years believe that some Elliott wave, some Gann line, some Fibonacci line, or some Ichikumi cloud is the reason why buyers stepped up and drove that higher, this should prove to you, get that BS off your charts and look to the left. And it's just about where they stepped up before and they step up again. And they're sitting down there. So when they approach down here, it was a slower turn. These are hourly bars. Whereas down here, and when it dipped down there, they're so excited thinking that this market is going to new all-time highs. And let's assume that it is, that they couldn't get filled. Right? Some got filled down there. And then as it began to lift off, they had to take the offer rather than get filled on the bid because they're afraid of missing the boat as this goes up. Now, that being said, why are they shying away up here and making this relatively tight range? So it's like, here's this immense confidence down here at the dip, and over here, they back away immediately. This has gotten a teeny bit higher, but again, being rejected. So still this schizophrenic type of price action. We'll see if they can get it going today. Dow was hated yesterday, and selling off as the Russell was taking off, and down, tried to make the turn. It couldn't do it. And here's this morning, the same little dip and recovery here. So all of these tails are just a lot of indecision. And you see the bodies are all here, all about in the same place. And then as it tries to go up, it comes back down and then pretty much in the same place. We'll see what happens here. So there's a lot of indecision. Down on the dip, they said it's, I can't wait to get in this market because it's going to explode. And then as it goes up a little bit, sell. It's It's a little crazy. All right, so this is normal. Right? This is normal. Right? Blast off, retracement. Buyers step up on a shallow retracement. It makes a lower low and comes back up again. This is a historical normal pattern of creating a void and pulling back, and then whatever reason pulled back far enough, and it comes up and then consolidates like this at the resistance area, and you get bottoming tail bars that display that buyers are stepping up on little shallow retracements, and then off it goes, and so on. And this hasn't reached its destination yet, so we make the assumption that it can continue to move up to this 14,000 area, where it's got a larger area of overlapping bars up there. Maybe it gets through it, but let's scroll this over a little bit and get a little, if I can. It's kind of far back. I like a little detail. So you can see it's kind of this area here of overlapping bars. It's far away. It has this nice consolidation. How much effect this has, probably some hesitancy where it begins to get a little jerky as it enters that area. And as we look at more detail, let me see if there's anything where it starts to show that it's beginning to deteriorate on a smaller time frame. And while this retracement back into here is a slight sign, it's really not a big deal. You kind of got a wide range bar ending over here, and so the momentum is stalled for the moment. And internals gave us a signal, Mr. Blue Chips, last week. Not much change, and it really doesn't matter anymore. In a sense, where they're at, I can tell you that the breadth is anemic, but you really don't have things move other than tech and some speculative issues. You're not really getting much movement, and with the Dow coming down like that, I guess it's pretty normal. Breadth is not looking so great here. Well, it's a different word, Dan, of saying, it should be better than it is, but it's not. Russell, right at this pivot high here, and see if it backs off. Momentum slowed a little bit, but the same by the dip there. That was 6:30 in the morning. So was it news coming out? Now I was looking at this thing. Oh, maybe there was some news at 8:30, but this was 6:30 in the morning. So something must have happened overseas, I imagine, where there was a dip and then a recovery. Well, this being in a place where, what, as it's moving up, it's been strong. I'll move my red area up as possibly being able to get up into there. And that is several months away. So it's cleared that pivot high. So until it breaks down on a smaller time frame, the assumption is it'll keep going up. Bonds up a little bit, just back into the trading range, going nowhere. Jake up in the green room saying websites are shutting down. New York Times, Amazon website. Is that true? Amazon's website is down, Jacob? I got half a message there. McGruss at the link. Let me take a look. That's a Twitter thing. Who done it? Service unavailable. And if they could shut down Amazon, that would be crazy. I have to take a look. Amazon's up for me. Maybe it was at one point. I don't know. Okay. So bonds are flip-flopping around here. Where's TBT? TBT on Friday, had this drop. It's got this head and shoulders top here. And, the weekly is still in an uptrend. So this is it's actually, I was going to say a difficult situation. It's more of a situation of just stay away from until it develops further. Meaning we got, somewhat of a bearish pattern here. We got a bullish pattern on the higher time frame. Is this going to break down where you get a lower high and a lower low break, which this still would be an uptrend if it did that, because major support is well down here. But this type of a pattern, if it was to break here, it suggests it's going to go lower. Now, one of these things with these head and shoulders tops, going back, what you have these moments where you see patterns that, you learn about patterns, you see, theoretically how they work, and you can see how they work even in real time. And then you see what happens when they fail. And this is, back what got me started about failure patterns a long time ago. And one of the experience was, besides, being totally transparent here about looking for patterns about how I felt at those moments when dire moments, when you sell the low of the move, you're so sure it's going to go down, what that looked like, and to define those patterns. But the thing that stuck in my mind was back in, I think it was 1993, when Dell Computer at the time was still a public company, and it was in a bearish pattern, and it formed this huge head and shoulders top on the weekly time frame. And all the media at the time, whatever it was back then, I guess TV, really wasn't any internet, was all about, Dell Computer and this big head and shoulders top, and they're going to go out of business, or so on and so forth. And that head and shoulders top failed. And that stock went up like you couldn't believe. I don't think there's any charts. I don't know if there is back then, if you could find it, but probably institutions were short. And so as it to the whatever effect of it here is that this is in an uptrend. We've got this head and shoulders type of top. And if TBT should take out this shoulder here and start rising, I suspect we're going to get a pretty good pop in interest rates. And that could be, we've got these market internals that have given a sell signal. I explained that, historically, it could happen in a few days. It could happen in 2 weeks. But this could be a trigger of this pattern failing to go to the downside and popping back up, and interest rates, driving higher here. So you don't have to watch it. However you do it in your platform, right click and just say, yep, let me know if it gets there. All right. Crude oil stalled at $70. Gold flip-flopping around here. Silver, trying to negate that wide range bar. So let's keep an eye on that. Interestingly, we mentioned this a couple of weeks ago, wood continues to deteriorate here, which is good for contractors. I spoke to one last night who's been crying the blues about an agreement he has with several, and his costs for materials have been going higher and higher. You know how that operates. And seeing with the transports here, kind of a topping pattern there, not a head and shoulders, but I've got an alert set at that 50 MA to see what happens if it should tag it and see if it turns back up again or whether it breaks down. So keeping an eye on the internals. Well, we've already got that information into market analysis of what's going on with interest rates and transports. and then, just the broader markets. And then, as we scanned yesterday, a lot of speculative issues and biotechs, but lots of good looking patterns that suggest these, if you're picking the right things, like they can go higher. So it's an interesting market, right? Markets always are. They just become interesting in different ways. All yours, Dan.
They become interesting in different ways. I like that. See, that's what makes it not factory work. Factory work is got to put the transmission in the right spot every time. There's no creativity in that. All right, yeah. So Bitcoin's down. Not SPACs, memes. Reddit boys are having a good time this morning. All our opens are fine with one exception. Playboy. We had a short strangle out of the money 60 calls, out of the money 35 puts. When it got bullish yesterday, we bought the stock to hedge, so we have a covered call. Gapping down on news of a secondary issue. I tightened the stop. Let me give it to you all in case you didn't get the telegram. So this is Playboy. Oh, here, I'll just give you the whole thing. And then actually Amazon, I just said move stop, 5-minute high. We were hoping to get a breakdown here, and I did not like yesterday's close with bottoming tail after making a new low. So we had tightened the stop to Friday's high. And now I don't know what the news is on that, but it's sure perking. Some of the NASDAQ is strong. Apple here, nice reversal, nice pre-market. Not a great price avoid though. Tesla, we said yesterday into the close that we were going to sell a put spread on that today. But now the gap's messing it up. They're up on the news of selling a bunch of cars to China. Microsoft, we were watching yesterday, has a nice pre-market here. Look at that beautiful 15-minute chart all day long. A couple of our trades posted yesterday are gapping up here. IIBI over yesterday's high. Pins, yesterday's high, gapping up a little bit, so we'll do 5-minute highs. Coin we're in, both short stock and a call spread, so this is a good gap. So Playboy's a problem gap. This is a good one. So I'll probably be tightening stop, 30-minute high. Jets. Jets, yeah, we've been in this, pulled back a little bit. I just posted NCLH to sell some puts. I've been watching these. The entry was this 180 reversal right here, and it gapped up the next day. We did sell puts on RCL on that same day. But I just think cruises look like they're bottoming. Our marijuana cron is doing well, gapping up. I posted some Tilray put spread ideas. Thomas Nicola, it's sloppy for a new pattern, but we got in on this igniting bar. We sold, I think, the $12 puts. It's just, you're chasing a little bit now, although it looks higher. CCL, you're asking. Yeah. And Kook is their foreign flag one. John, credit spread coin. Yeah, we already have one from yesterday. But you can go through the checklist, see what the premium is. David, Alpha Whiskey. I don't, that's not a symbol. All right, so these meme stocks. Somebody was saying, I don't know, I thought it was just earnings. And I'm like, earnings? You're gapping up 26%? That made no sense to me. But you've been in business for decades. how the heck can you gap up 26%? But yeah, it makes more sense that the Reddit boys are attacking this. So that looks like it's a toy of theirs today. This clove looks like a toy of theirs. It's ripping here now, gapping up $5-6. Holding very strong though. But when anything moves this far and then gaps out $5, my mentality is just look for an intraday short. BlackBerry, it's one of their toys. BlackBerry could give you a day trade long. Got a nice 180 reversal, bullish pre-market. And we all know about AMC, just gap into resistance, no interest there. GME is a more bullish pattern. You know what? Let's keep an eye on GME for a put spread, actually. All right, some other gappers here. Data, 28.72. So that's a gap breakout. McGraw, this looks like a no-brainer. Put spread. Frank, I talked about it already, and I just posted. So here, we don't have two put spreads. We have a covered call and a put spread. So there's the stop, and I just made it very clear for the entire position. Let's just, if it hits that number, I'm done with it. Yeah, McGraw. You're funny, McGraw. Yeah, I said data. Let's keep an eye on a put spread. And also maybe GME. AQMS. I just saw this one floating by the ticker. It's a little steel pattern, steel stock, but had a nice breakout. It's churning its way higher, and I like the monthly. Monthly has room to $5 or so. Let's keep an eye on that. AMWL. Yeah, yeah, I like it. Yeah, I like it a lot. So I'll put it there. Yeah, that's good. That's not bad at all. Nice bottoming pattern. Started with this 180 reversal, went sideways above the 20. I like it. So with Bitcoin down, uh, I look for a call spread, but the spreads are ludicrous. So I posted, let's just keep an eye on Mr. here for shorting daily, weekly. That has a lot of room to fall. I'd say 360. That's 100 points, folks. Even if you're short 10 shares, that looks bad. We always look at the Riot and Mara. I had an up alarm on Riot to see if it could get through that red bar, but now it looks like it's going to have a harder time. Austin, yeah, that's what got Bitcoin gapping up pre-market yesterday. FCell, I just love this one for a core long, but it has earnings this week. We were trying to sell a naked put. We didn't get filled on it. I see our Fubo gapping up a little bit. That looks good. A plug. I may have earnings this week too, doesn't it? Plug 610. So yeah, it's earnings in 2 days, but this looks like a core long to me too, just like FCell. Bottoming, broke out, monthly buy setup. I did look at puts on this pre-market, but they weren't juicy enough to hold over earnings, in my opinion. Mosey, this kind of looks like a Reddit toy, the way it ripped up like this. There's no pattern on the daily, but I like the gap up and sideways 15-minute chart with a price void. That could give you a day trade long. 30-minute high, LEDS gapping up, but too extended for me. That also kind of looks like a Reddit toy. KDP gapping down. That's a bearish gap. Wow. Gapping under this pivot. That's bearish. ASO. Nice pre-market gap. Rip up. Pull back. Staying in the upper third. That's worth watching. ASO. Load. This is a 1, 2, 3. It's good to go over those highs. Zoom, I wanted a put spread yesterday, but we did not get our desired credit. Yeti, I posted as a put spread, but I wanted a little bit of price improvement, and the way this 15-minute chart is just churning, I'm not sure we're going to get it. A Marvel here. Yeah, I posted Airbnb already. Let me give it to you. But wow, that's a powerful gap. Yeah, Airbnb. Well, here, I guess you don't have our weekly options trader, John. Otherwise, you would have got this already in Telegram. So there's my Yeti. And here's my Airbnb. But yeah, I like Airbnb. Put spreads all day. Stim. So let me set an alarm, 151, Airbnb. Oh shoot, coin is bouncing. I was hoping that would keep tanking. All right, stem. Oh, we're already in stem. I just had an up alarm as well. So we got $12.50 puts on that. That looks great.